Have you ever asked yourself why we fear the unknown, especially in relationships? Let me share a bit of my personal story. 5 years ago, I was consumed by a fear that gnawed at my happiness. The fear that my partner, who was almost 400 kilometers away, might cheat on me. This fear, no matter how unfounded, would pervade my thoughts, turning my once healthy relationship into a breeding ground for insecurity. But why, you might ask, did I let this fear take root? To answer that, I need to introduce you to a concept I like to call surprise pain. It's the jarring, gut-punching feeling you get when something blindsides you, when a situation you thought was under control suddenly spirals out of hand. In my case, it was the fear of an unforeseen betrayal in my relationship. The version of me from 5 years ago refused to be caught off guard by this surprise pain. She thought if there was going to be heartbreak, she would be the first to see it coming. And the best way to do that, she reasoned, was to think about it constantly. So that's exactly what I did. For the first few years of my relationship, I was always on edge, always expecting my partner to leave me for someone more fun, more easygoing. But let me tell you, when you're constantly expecting to be blindsided by betrayal, it's impossible to be that fun, easygoing person. During this time, it was tough for me to enjoy my relationship and just be happy. The fear that it could end at any moment was always lingering in the back of my mind. This fear, this constant anticipation of pain, is what I call preparation pain. When we live in constant fear of surprise pain, we inadvertently create a state of preparation pain. And this state, my friends, can suffocate love and breed conflict, controlling behavior, and a complete lack of freedom and independence. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that can turn our worst fears into reality. Preparation pain, a state of constant high alert, always looking for signs of betrayal. But what are the consequences, you may ask? Well, let me paint you a picture from my coaching sessions. Imagine you're in a relationship and it's good, but instead of living in the moment, you're always on edge. You're constantly scanning for signs that something might go wrong. You start to interpret every word, every action, every silence in a way that confirms your worst fears. This, my friends, is the destructive power of preparation pain. In this constant state of tension, love struggles to breathe. The joy of being together, the simple pleasures of shared experiences, they all fade into the background. Instead, you're left with conflict, controlling behavior, and a suffocating lack of freedom and independence. I've seen this pattern time and time again in my coaching sessions. I've worked with individuals from all walks of life who have one thing in common. They live in constant fear of being cheated on. They let this fear control their lives, and it's heart-wrenching to see how it limits their ability to truly enjoy their relationships. One client, let's call her Amy, was always second-guessing her partner's actions. If he was late from work, she'd imagine him with someone else. If he didn't respond to her text right away, she'd convince herself he was losing interest. She was so consumed by the fear of surprise pain that she lived in a constant state of preparation pain instead. And the worst part? Amy thought she was protecting herself. She believed that by being on high alert, she was somehow gaining control over a situation that, in reality, was completely out of her hands. But all she was doing was robbing herself of the joy that comes from trust and openness in a relationship. So, let's take a moment to reflect. Are we, like Amy, letting preparation pain control our lives? Are we letting the fear of surprise pain suffocate the love in our relationships? Because remember, preparation pain not only suffocates love, but it also gives a false sense of control over situations that are completely out of our hands. So, how do we break free from this debilitating cycle of fear and anticipation? The key lies in 3 fundamental elements: trust, communication, and living in the present moment. Trust forms the bedrock of any relationship, and it's vital to nurture it. Remember, your partner chose you for a reason. Communication, on the other hand, is the bridge that connects hearts. Be open with your feelings, fears, and expectations. A healthy dialogue can often clear clouds of doubt and foster deeper understanding. Lastly, embrace the present moment. The future is uncertain, yes, but that's what makes life beautiful. Don't let the fear of what might happen tomorrow steal the joy of today. If you find your fears overwhelming, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are equipped to guide you through your anxieties and help you build healthier coping mechanisms. Remember, a healthy relationship thrives on trust and communication, not on fear and anticipation.